Our next guest has won more surfing titles than any other Australian, and she's been crowned world champion not once, not twice, but 7 times. But despite her success in the water, Layne Beachley has had her fair share of life's ups and downs. She was given up for adoption by her 17-year-old mother, and then she lost her adoptive mother at the age of just 6. Layne, at the age of 7 years old, you knew you wanted to be a world champion.
Yeah, it's because that was when I was told I was adopted. And as a ambitious and also tenacious and competitive child, it kind of made me feel like I was all alone again, and feeling like I didn't actually truly belong to the family that I was a part of. And so when my dad told me that I was adopted after my mother died, it was then that I went, okay, so if I'm not worthy of my biological mother's love and I've just lost another mother, then I feel the necessity to prove my worth and prove my worth of being loved to the world, and I felt the best way to do that was to become the best in the world at something.
Have you proved it now? Can you sit back now and say, I think I've proved it?
I'm pretty satisfied, yeah. I feel like there's nothing left for me to prove in the world of sport, and that's why I've entered the world of business. Okay. Some other challenge, you know. As an athlete, you tend to look for challenges, and as an athlete that wants to be the best and wants to continue to maintain that position in the world, you have to find ways to improve, and you have to be willing to reinvent yourself time after time.
And being in the swimming with the sharks in business, is that as hard as swimming with the sharks in surfing?
I think it's harder, quite honestly.
Really?
But, yeah, but that's because I'm out of my comfort zone, I'm out of my knowledge zone, and I'm still learning a lot. I mean, as a professional surfer, I was still learning each and every day, and the great thing about the ocean is that you can never master it, you can never control it. It teaches you to be flexible or malleable. It teaches you to adapt to different situations. So I think the attitude that you have to take when you're dealing with Mother Nature is very similar to the attitude you have to take when it comes to dealing with business, because no matter how strategic and no matter how much you plan, things will continue to change.
So
and you've got
that wave that comes out of nowhere.
There's always, well, what we call it is a rogue set. Just comes from nowhere and wipes you out. You're like, oh, I've got to pick myself up and start all over again. Do I have what it takes to paddle back out against that, or am I going to give up? And you know, the one thing that I have been a true testament of is never giving up, you know, and no matter how much the odds are stacked against me, I just continue to try. So
take me from after retiring, now your business interests. What are you doing now?
Well, I have my own clothing line called Blue Kiss by Layne Beachley, which is actually going into store November 1st, 2009. Nice. And that's going into Myer stores, and then we're also looking to introduce it into Rebel stores next summer in 2010. I have my own charity called the Aim for the Stars Foundation, which provides financial and moral support for women across Australia to achieve their dreams, not just in sport, but in music and science and culture and arts and academia, and basically encouraging women to get out there and have a go. So we're actually supporting go-getters and girls that have initiative and passion. Nice. And then I also staged the richest surfing event in the world, which we had in October this year, called the Commonwealth Bank Beachley Classic, and that's the 4th year that it's been going. And I hope
you've got more funding, haven't you, for another couple of years, is that right?
Well, that's the intention. Nothing's signed off yet, but ultimately I want this event to run forever. You know, it's surfing has given me so much and provided me with so much, and it's been one of my passions to be able to continue to give back to the sport, give back to the future generations, and it's the only event in the world of its kind where it's actually run by a surfer and staged for the surfers.
And so take me, where do you see yourself? Where is Layne Beachley in 10 years' time?
That's a good question. You know, I think, you know, when I left the surfing industry, after being a sponsored athlete my whole career, when I decided to be the first athlete to actually drop their sponsor and walk away to create their own opportunity, my passion or my vision associated with that was to be as big as them, but do it in a different way, because I felt like I wasn't truly supported the way I wanted to be. I was always a second-class citizen compared to the guys.
And so then when you finished your career, you wanted to go out and build something.
Well, actually, I started building this before I finished my career.
Right.
When I won my 6th world title, that's when I said, well, I've got a profile, I've got an image, everyone knows what I stand for. I want to go and build something that I'm passionate and enthusiastic about, and be involved in a company that's really passionate and enthusiastic about me. You know, I didn't feel like I was appreciated or recognised in the company that I was. You know, there was a lot of things that I felt were lacking, and there was a lot of things that they did fantastic. But ultimately, the drive behind me going out and creating my own brand was to establish a brand that was big enough and successful enough to support athletes like myself the way that I wish I was supported. That's why I staged the Beachley Classic. You know, I run events the way I'd like to have seen events run, and ultimately, I guess you could call it failure. I've failed 5 times at starting my own brand, but now I'm thinking
You've failed 5 times?
I've tried 5 different ways of launching a new brand associated with my name.
And is it like Thomas Edison, who has 10,000 ways the light bulb, you know, not to create the light bulb? Will you keep going? Is that what you'd like to be known for? Somebody who will just say, most people don't even get to the first attempt, or the second, but the third, the fourth, the fifth, and you're at your 5th time now.
Yeah.
You'll just keep going until you make a success.
I will just keep going until I get it right.
Layne Beachley, thank you so much for being a guest on The Beachley Investor.
Thanks for having me.